Hello, hello, hello. I'm back. I hope not too much of a lag. Um, we had bad weather yesterday, but thank the Lord, everything is good today. So hopefully you can hear me. I'm going to take my time today on this particular topic because it's a very important topic. So hopefully it's not a bad lag. That's just all I can say. If it is, please forgive me, people. I will re-record if that's the case. But I'm gonna try to do this one live today because I got a little bit of time to do so. So if you will join me, this particular topic is going to be all about our adversary. Why? Because God wants us to know our enemy. Okay, that's the only way that you can watch out. Beware. Say, well, protect yourself is what I would say. Protect yourself, from their tricks and, trickery, treachery, all the evil, that can come your way. You need to know your opponent. You need to study your opponent. I think it's very, very important to do so. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Now, I am not a deaconess. I'm not a prophetess. I am not ordained, at all. I'm not an evangelist. There's nothing supernatural about me. I don't possess any supernatural abilities. Everything that I am going to discuss and talk about, it is because I researched it, because I study the Bible. I am a theology student, and also a teacher. So with that being said, um, this right here basically is just a foundational principle, for Christians. So you could just look at this as Foundation 101, in Christianity. You need to know your opponent. All right. So, I like to use my slides. And let's get started here. All right. So, Satan. What does God want us to know about our enemy? God wants us to know our enemy. That's first and foremost. So we need to study in depth. It's in our best interest to study because, again, we can fall for the okie doke, we can fall for the traps, we can fall into the temptations. That's what he is banking on. That is one of his, easiest ways, to manipulate us is to get us to fall, for the emotional traps that he sets. Now, one of the reasons why, and I'm gonna talk about the U.S. because that's where I live. Okay, all of you that are listening to me from other countries, nothing against your country. I can only talk about my experience right now. Okay, one of the reasons why here in the United States that we have been so successful in protecting our country is because of our stellar military. Our military by far is not perfect. However, it is beautiful what we do have. Nothing is perfect here. I'll just say that. But I just want to dote on the military for just a moment, because I want to pay homage to all of those who have served, are serving, will serve. So I appreciate you. I thank you. But our military is strong. The military is what it is because of their training. Okay. There is a lot of combat training. There's a lot of intel training. There's a lot of machinery, technology training. They have to study previous attacks, previous weaknesses, from our enemies. They also try to anticipate other possibilities, alternatives. They try to prepare themselves for every instance, of what could happen, any possibilities. So that's what makes our military most efficient and effective. All right. Now, in our country, we have agencies that also aid our military, and they come up with strategies that back up, contingencies, in case there are failures, so on and so forth. Why, though? So to be ready at any given moment to protect ourselves. This is how we stay on top of, the most up to date, attack strategies, because unfortunately, the devil is always busy. So are the attackers, those who plot mischief, and they just sit around, looking for ways to destroy the United States. Okay, so I think you get where I'm going with this so far. All right, so we got to understand our dangers. Um, we Christians, now I'm going to talk about the Christians for just a moment. We have an invisible adversary. And actually, it's not even just Christians. Everybody does, whether you recognize this or not. I'm saying Christians because most Christians understand that they are no longer working for Satan. Okay, that is another foundational, lesson for another day. However, those of us who are not Christians, those of you that are not Christians, I would say, you are still working under the Satan. Okay, whether you realize it or not, because if you ain't working for God, that's the only alternative left. It's only two: good and evil, God and Satan. That's it. Nothing in between. No gray, black or white. Okay, so we have an invisible adversary. Okay, he is invisible to the naked eye, except to those who understand how he moves. We can see you all the time. Okay, so he's ancient, he's very old. All right, because we know about his story of one when he was in heaven. So he used to be in heaven before the earth. All right. So this is what we know from reading our scriptures. He's skilled in chaos. Matter of fact, God says that he is the creator of all lies, and so he hates us, he hates God. Okay. And no one who has intel, because unfortunately he does have intel. He used to live in heaven, so therefore, and he's an angel, so there where he was an angel, so therefore he has a lot of intel, more intel than we do, to be completely honest with you. What I mean by intel is he sees behind the veil because that's where he originates from. Understand that? So he's got one up on us just by that fact alone. Okay. But those of us who have Jesus, we one up him. Okay. But we'll get into that. All right. So God is warning us about what we're dealing with. Say to work, you may and so genuinely and